G'day folks, Ben from Snowy's today with the Cedar Summit Tanami TM1 Comforter.
Hit it.
This is a lightweight downfill comforter that either can be used as a blanket by itself around the campsite or a lightweight upgrade for your swag or rooftop tent. So this is a little bit of a different product here. This is a comforter or a quilt, as you probably more commonly know it, but it's a downfilled quilt and is a perfect product if you're looking at lightening up your camp setup, because it's not a hiking product, it's a camping product, but it's a down-filled quilt. So rolling up your swag or folding down your rooftop tent with one of these inside instead of a bulky sleeping bag or doona is going to be a whole lot easier because the down is really compressible. But it's also a great product to extend the temperature range of your existing Cedar Summit sleeping bag setup, and it can be used with sleeping bags, just on a mat or just as a blanket by itself. But when you buy your Tanami, you get the blanket. It's just a big flat blanket like this, and that comes inside a little bag like this one here. Now this measures about 38 centimeters by about 22 centimeters by about 16 centimeters in height. Just mesh sides on there with a zippered top. A great place to store your Tanami quilt when you're not using it, because the down's not too compressed in there, and makes for easy storage and prolongs the life of the down. You also get a little instruction manual, well not instruction manual, but information manual, and you get this certificate here. So inside here is a certificate for the test of the down. So it's a 750 loft premium down inside here, which means that the down has to be tested to 750 or above. That's the certificate inside that tells you exactly what loft it tested to, and it will probably almost guarantee that it'll be higher than the 750 stated on this bag here. Now it doesn't come with a compression strap because compression bag, because it is a camping product. It's not so much about compactness to fit in a backpack as to fit in a car, but if you did want to put it in a compression sack, you can fit this inside an extra small compression sack. This is a dry sack here, or you can use just a regular compression sack, or even just a stuff sack if you like, a 6-litre stuff sack. So it will fit inside the small compression sacks and stuff sacks. Now the product is made with all lightweight materials that you usually find in sort of the lightweight hiking realm. So the outside of this is a 30 denier DWR treated nylon. It's a tough but lightweight material. It has a DWR treatment which is going to shed a bit of water and stop stains and things from appearing as best it can. Underneath is a soft touch 20 denier nylon. This is a really nice feeling fabric. It doesn't have a crinkly synthetic feel about it, and it doesn't have too much of a cold feel about it, and it does feel nice and soft. So this is what's going to be against your skin. And sandwiched or filled in between here is a 750 loft premium ultra dry down. Now, ultra dry means it's got an ultra dry treatment, which is going to resist the effects of moisture that down has often had in the past. Where down gets wet, it just loses all its insulation properties. This has had a treatment that kind of sheds that water, so it maintains loft even if it does get a little bit moist. So a really high quality 750 loft down inside here. And the general construction of this bag it's got lots of boxes. So it's not a box wall construction, but it's a box construction. So we've got all of these sections throughout the entire, I keep calling it a bag, but quilt here. So these are pockets. So there's a pocket of down here, a pocket of down here, a pocket of down here. And all of these sections are actually sewn through. So this top section meets the bottom section here. So each of these is kind of comes together like this to a point in here. So the bag is rated, the Cedar Summit's rating, they say 10 degrees for comfort. You can't test these bags in the same manner that you can test sleeping bags like we've got underneath here, because you can't seal them up underneath. You can't actually zip the bag together. But from Cedar Summit's experience with sleeping bags, they know that this much down made in this sort of way is going to provide this much warmth. So they've given it roughly a 10 degree comfort rating. Now running through the features of the bag, if I spread it out here, you can see that it is a rectangular shape. Now it's 205 centimeters in length from top to bottom and 210 centimeters in width. If we start with the features, beginning at the base here, you've got this drawcord in the middle. If we pull this drawcord, what it does is tighten each side. So the drawcord runs both ways on the bag here, and the drawcord's anchored just part way up the side of the bag here. And that's designed to create a pocket like this that will hook over the bottom of a mat. The idea is you can use this just on top of a mat without the need for the sleeping bag layer underneath. I'm going to show you how all that fits very shortly, but we'll just continue with our tour of the bag here first. Coming up the side, midway up the side here, there is a little loop Now there's loops like this all over the bag. You can use these to hang the bag if you like. So when you're not using it and you want to hang it, say in a cupboard, you can hang it up by these guys here to allow that down to breathe and also to stay lofted. But you can also use this to actually attach it to the mat. So there's a corresponding loop on the other side there. So if you had some shot cord, they don't actually have straps for this, but you could just use some shot cord or a strap, tie it off here, go under your mat to the other side, hook it up on the other side of the comforter there, and it's going to secure it across the mat here so you don't get cold drafts on the side. Moving further up the bag here to the top, another one of those loops on the corner here and another one part way in. This is reflected on the other side of the bag here as well. Now these have a couple of uses as well. As I mentioned, one of them is for hanging it up, if you like, in a cupboard. But it also works to attach to a sleeping bag here, like these loops here. I'm going to show you a bit more on that shortly, but Cedar Summit makes sleep systems. So there's always more than one use for it. It can be used as a blanket by itself, but also to attach to other sleeping products to extend the comfort range of that sleep system. One more thing on the top here, and I don't have much information on this at the moment, but it ties in with what I mentioned about Cedar Summit sleep systems, is there are these little studs here. Now, I don't know what they're for. There's nothing there for at the moment, but I would say watch this space because Cedar Summit are always developing, and that's probably going to be compatible with another product that will either attach in underneath here or this will attach on top or something like that. So at some stage in the future, that's going to make sense. At the moment, they haven't released that product, but they're innovative and forward thinking, so it's there ready for something in the future. And the last feature on the top are two individual drawstrings. So this is a double or a queen size comforter. There's a drawstring on this side here. So if I tighten this, you can see it tightens this side of the bag here and it's anchored here. So that this drawstring tightens this section here. The drawstring over this side tightens the other side here. Now I'm going to crawl in it shortly and show you how this works, but that's just designed to wrap over the top of the shoulders of the person on each side to extend the comfort of the bag once again. Now, to show you the multiple ways that you can use the Tanami, firstly, obviously just as a quilt over your shoulders if you like. You can wrap it around you sitting around the campsite or sitting inside a tent or whatever, just use it as a regular blanket. But the features are designed as such that you can actually attach it to a mat. Now I've got two mats here. Firstly, this is a Cedar Summit Comfort Plus mat here, self-inflating mat, 128 centimeters in width and 183 centimeters in length. So I think these work, even though this is a queen comforter, I think they work really well with a double mat here because it gives you a bit of volume inside without tightening it down too much. But I do have a queen mat here. I'm going to show you how it fits shortly. So to fit this on here, I tighten this draw cord here until it bunches up on the sides and it creates these pockets. So they can just hook over the corner of the mat there. Same on the other side here. Hook this over and just cinch this tight enough so that you kind of don't get too much drape in the middle here. So tighten that up and then that creates a seal around the bottom of the mat here. So we'll leave that like that now. So you can see you've got this sort of space in here, which we'll show you shortly. I'll tighten that up a little bit more. Tuck it underneath. Now, first thing I'm going to show you is how this can attach on top of two existing sleeping bags to extend the comfort range of an existing sleep system. So these are Cedar Summit bags underneath here at the moment, a male and a female bag, and I've got them joined together. So it's a double bag, a double warm bag here. Lay this over the top, it's sitting on top of the mat there, and we then use the little loops at the top here to just push through the draw cords on the hood here. So you could use this with other sleeping bags as well if you've got something to just loop this little loop over. So if I push this right through, and you might find it will sit there if you just leave it sitting like that, but you can just do a little bit of an extra knot over the top just to secure that there. Come to the other side here and do the same thing. So we've got another draw cord there for the hood on this sleeping bag. Loop that through here, and what we've then done is attach the comforter on top of these two sleeping bags. If you don't do that, you could just lay this on top, but being synthetic fabrics, these tend to slide off. So we've now got this warm sort of setup here, nice warm sleeping bags, and we've added layers of down on top. Now the bag itself, I don't think I've mentioned weight yet, but it weighs 815 grams for the entire bag, and there's 350 grams of down inside. So you've taken these sleeping bags here, which I don't have the stats of how much down is in there, but you've added 350 grams of down to your setup. You're not going to get an exact temperature rating of what this will increase to by adding this on here, but you know you're going to add at least a few degrees, maybe 5 degrees loosely comfort to your setup here. So it's extending the range of your sleeping bag. Now I'll crawl inside here because what I want to show you is how comfortable it is when you're in here on a double mat with trying to fall off the stretcher here. I'm going to go on this side. I think this is a regular size bag. This one here, this one will be too short for me. Now the important thing is we want to have space at the foot end here for the down to loft up. So I've got about that much down above my toes when they're sticking straight up there. So nice and warm, doesn't feel tight. It's well underneath the comforter there. If I just get right down inside the bag itself is probably borderline small for me, but my feet feel pretty comfortable at the end there because it feels a little bit tight over my head. So I probably want the large size, but the most important thing is that my feet have got room there. They're not jammed up at the end, and I've got that extra down on top. And I feel super warm here. I've got probably about this much down sitting on top of me here between this sleeping bag and the comforter on top. So that's one way that you could use the comforter here, I suppose, for camping, but if you wanted it for hiking, if you're using these and you go into particularly cold environments, this is a reasonably compact way to warm up a double sleep system here. Now the second way I want to show you is to just use the comforter by itself. So if we remove the sleeping bags from underneath here, so unloop these. Probably should also mention that when these were done up, there is a bit of play in the top here. So this doesn't sit really tightly here. The bag just sits nice and loose. So there's no drama with any stress on these points here. So I'm going to remove these bags from underneath the comforter here and show you how much space there is in here just with this attached. So that's still looped around the bottom of the mat there. And this is now a cool to sort of warm weather sleep setup here. So 10-degree comfort doona on top. If you team that up with a liner, which I have down here, there's a double cotton liner, put that inside, crawl in the liner, put this over the top, and you've got yourself a nice, comfortable, warm to cool weather sleep setup. Now this mat's borderline short for me. I'm 183 centimeters, or the mat's 183 centimeters. But if I lay down, I can pull this right up above my shoulders here, and my feet still have plenty of volume at the end there. The other thing with the double mat is I've got plenty of overlap on the sides here, so I've got all this fabric each side, because by the time another person gets in here and lifts this up, you just want a bit of space to overlap the side of the mat there. So a double mat gives you a bit of flexibility in how much space you've got in here. And while I'm here, I'll just show you the drawcord over the neck too. So if I tighten this up here, you see that then just creates a bit of a pocket over the top of me. Probably the most useful thing I think would be to tighten this side more and create a bit of a pocket for your shoulder to sit in. Tuck it over your shoulder like this, and then your shoulders stay inside the bag there so it doesn't end up pulling off. Being a lightweight fabric, it can move around pretty easily. So if the other person does this on this side here, you're both tucked into the sleeping bag or underneath the quilt like this. Now I want to show you how it fits on a queen mat, but before I do that, I'm going to show you how you can also use it as kind of a bit of a makeshift single bag. So if I pull this underneath me and just fold it in half, tighten the drawcord down the bottom here so that I've got my feet tucked in like that, can actually fold it like this to create a single sleeping bag. Now you do have this side open here. You're not going to get away with that, or away from that. But if it's just warm weather or cool weather camping, you're still going to be pretty warm sleeping like this. So it's now a single person sleeping bag as well. So quite versatile in that respect, that you can cater for both you, just yourself, or you and your partner. So the last thing I want to show you is how this fits over the queen mat, which I've got underneath here. So I'm going to take the double mat away, put it over here, and I'm going to put this over the queen mat here. So this mat here is a 10 centimeter high queen mat. It's 150 centimeters in width and about 200 centimeters in length. Now it does fit, but I find it's not quite as versatile as a double mat. So I tuck that over there. There's plenty of volume in terms of the height there to fit over it. To the other side here, so I can just see that immediately it's just a little as you would expect. a little bit tighter widthways. Tighten it up a little bit more. Now what I find, as I'll show you shortly when I crawl inside, is that you don't get quite as much volume here for your feet, so a little bit tighter. So if you're a tall person, you're not going to have as much room for your feet here. But I'll crawl inside the bag now, or inside the setup, making sure we're on the stretcher. So first thing is you don't have the same overlap on the sides here, so as people move around, you can potentially get a bit of a cold spot here. Still a good amount of overlap, but not quite as good as just with the double. And if I tuck right down, once again, still functional. This still feels pretty good, but it's a little bit tighter over the top of my feet. Now I've got big feet, I've got them sticking straight up. It's a little bit tighter over the top. So it does also work with a queen size mattress, but I think it works really well with a double in terms of the volume you've got this way. You just don't obviously have the width with the double. I'll mention too that I have got this on top of a stretcher here today. If you're using it on top of a stretcher and you want to get the double, it's probably not going to be as comfortable because the double ends up kind of, you roll off the double. You really need a queen mat to fit on top of a double stretcher to use this with. So I guess I'm showing you this today to show you that it does work. You're just going to be a little bit tighter at the foot section there, but not so much an issue for shorter people. It's only if your feet are right up the end. That's the Cedar Summit Tanami 2. Now, as I mentioned before, there are a whole heap of products in Cedar Summit's sleep system. The liner, as I mentioned before, there's lots of different liners. That's a double. You can get singles, mummy shaped as well. And there's also a heap of pillows. And Cedar Summit's whole system is designed to work together. So if you have a good mat, liner, good pillow, and good products over the top, including this with sleeping bags, you've got a whole versatile setup that caters for just about every season. So really high quality and versatile sleep systems from Cedar Summit. That's the Tanami TM1 Comforter. You can check them out online at snowies.com.au where you'll find them at our lowest prices every day. If you have any questions though, let us know down in the comments below. Subscribe to our channel for all of our latest and greatest information, or check out some other awesome Cedar Summit sleep system products like these ones down here.